Have you ever wondered how it all began? The Bible's first book, Genesis, provides an account of the creation of the universe. In the beginning, there was nothing but a formless abyss, a void of darkness. Then, with a mere command, God brought forth light, separating it from the darkness, and thus day and night were born. This marked the first day of creation. On the second day, God spoke again, and the skies came into existence, a vast expanse separating the waters above from the waters below. A new day dawned, and the third day of creation began. God commanded the waters below to gather in one place, allowing dry land to appear. With another command, he caused the land to produce vegetation, trees bearing fruit, and plants yielding seeds, each according to their kind. As the fourth day began, God created the luminaries of the sky. He set the sun to govern the day and the moon to rule the night. He also scattered stars across the sky, illuminating the darkness and marking the seasons, days, and years. On the fifth day, God filled the seas with a multitude of living creatures and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky, each according to their kind. Then came the sixth day, a day of immense significance. God created land animals, each according to their kind. But the crowning glory of his creation was mankind, created in his own image, both male and female. He blessed them, gave them dominion over the earth and every creature that moved upon it. Finally, on the seventh day, God ceased from all his work. He looked upon all that he had made and saw that it was very good. He blessed the seventh day and made it holy, a day of rest, a testament to the completion of his creation. Thus the stage was set, with mankind given dominion over a world beautifully crafted by God's own hand. The story continues with the creation of the first man and woman, Adam and Eve. God, the master sculptor, formed Adam from the dust of the ground, infusing life into him with his own breath. This was no ordinary creation, but a masterpiece that bore the very image and likeness of its creator. God then placed Adam in a paradise, the Garden of Eden, teeming with lush vegetation and fruit-bearing trees. In the heart of this garden stood two significant trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam was given the responsibility to tend and protect this garden, a job that came with a single command. He could eat freely from any tree, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God then paraded all the animals before Adam, and he named each one. A lion, an elephant, a sparrow. Every creature received its name from Adam, showcasing his authority over creation. But among all these creatures, there was none suitable as a companion for him. Seeing this, God decided that it was not good for Adam to be alone. He caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and from his side, God crafted another masterpiece, a woman, Eve. She was bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh, a perfect counterpart for Adam. God presented Eve to Adam, who received her with joy, recognizing that she was a part of him. And so, the first marriage was established. Adam and Eve, living in perfect harmony with each other and with their Creator, had everything they needed. Life was perfect in the Garden of Eden. They had fellowship with God, the freedom to enjoy his creation, and the companionship of each other. But nestled within this paradise was a single prohibition, a test of obedience. And as we will see, this test would have far-reaching consequences, not just for Adam and Eve, but for all of humanity. This test of obedience was on the horizon. The harmony in the Garden of Eden was not to last. Genesis 3 recounts the tragic fall of mankind. A cunning serpent entered the scene, luring Eve into a conversation that would change the course of history. The serpent, with his silver tongue, persuaded Eve to question God's command. He painted a tantalizing picture of the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, suggesting that eating it would make her as wise as God. Swayed by the serpent's words, Eve succumbed to the temptation. She took a bite from the forbidden fruit, an act of disobedience that went against God's explicit instruction. But the story doesn't end there. Adam, who was with Eve, also partook in this act of rebellion. He accepted the fruit from Eve and ate it, a complicit participant in this moment of defiance. The consequences were immediate and profound. Their eyes were opened, and they became acutely aware of their nakedness. Shame and fear washed over them, emotions they had never experienced before in the blissful sanctuary of the Garden of Eden. They hastily fashioned clothes from fig leaves, seeking to cover their nudity and their guilt. Their futile attempt to hide did not go unnoticed. God, in his omniscience, was fully aware of their disobedience. He confronted them in the garden, and a blame game ensued. The serpent blamed Eve, Eve blamed the serpent, and Adam blamed Eve. But God, in his divine justice, held each party accountable for their actions. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly. Eve was subjected to increased pain in childbirth and a desire for her husband, who would rule over her. Adam was cursed to toil painfully on the land for food, a stark contrast to the bountiful provision in the Garden of Eden. The harshest consequence, however, was their expulsion from Eden, their access to the tree of life barred, cutting them off from eternal life. Their disobedience led to dire consequences, not only for them, but for all of mankind. It was a grim ending to the Bible's opening act. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned from these opening chapters of the Bible. In Genesis 1, we've seen the magnificence of God's creation, from the vast heavens and earth to the intricate details of the flora and fauna. We've seen God's purposeful design in creating mankind in his own image, bestowing upon them the honor to rule over his creation. In Genesis 2, we've witnessed the establishment of the first marriage, where God lovingly crafted a suitable helper for Adam from his own rib, a woman named Eve. Then, in Genesis 3, we are confronted with the grim reality of mankind's fall. Tempted by the serpent, Adam and Eve ate from the forbidden tree, leading to their expulsion from the Garden of Eden, introducing sin into the world. These chapters set the stage for the rest of the Bible's narrative, a story of God's redemption of a fallen world.